Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're going to explore one of the most talked about coins in U.S. coin history, the 1935 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you found a 1935 penny with a small D mint mark below the date, don't spend it just yet. This little copper coin might be worth much more than you think, and in some cases, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So stay tuned, because we're breaking down everything you need to know about this amazing coin, from its history and design to mint errors and real collector value. The 1935 D Wheat Penny was struck at the Denver Mint during the Great Depression, a time when every cent truly mattered. Over 47 million of these coins were produced, making it a common coin in circulation back then. But while millions were made, only a small number have survived in mint state condition, which makes them extremely desirable to collectors today. This coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, who first introduced the Lincoln cent in 1909. On the front, or obverse, you'll find the famous bust of President Abraham Lincoln with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1935, just below it, the small D mint mark indicating the Denver Mint. On the reverse, you'll see two wheat stalks arching around the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with E pluribus unum at the top. That classic wheat design gives this coin its nickname, the Wheat Penny. Now, let's talk about composition and value. The 1935 D penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams and measuring 19 millimeters in diameter. Because of the high copper content, most surviving examples have developed natural brown or reddish-brown tones over the decades. However, coins that have remained bright red, meaning they still show their original mint luster, are far rarer and much more valuable. In good G4 condition, a 1935 D penny is worth about 5 to 10 cents. In fine condition, that rises to around 25 to 35 cents. For coins in extremely fine XF condition, collectors might pay $1 to $2. But once you get into mint state, MS, grades, things start getting exciting. An MS-63 red-brown coin typically sells for around $25 to $40. A bright MS-65 red example can bring $100 to $150. And if you're lucky enough to own a PCGS or NGC-graded MS-67 red, that coin could be worth $1,000 to $2,000 or more, depending on its eye appeal and overall preservation. High-grade examples are rare because copper coins are easily scratched, spotted, or toned over time. But here's where things get even more interesting: mint errors and die varieties. One of the most valuable is the 1935 D double die obverse, DDO. This variety shows noticeable doubling on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. Depending on how strong the doubling is, these coins can be worth anywhere from $50 to over $300. Another exciting find is the repunched mint mark, RPM, variety, where the D appears doubled or shadowed because it was hand-punched twice into the die. These coins can bring $20 to $100, depending on sharpness and grade. Other errors to watch for include off-center strikes, die cracks, and lamination flaws, all of which can raise your coin's value significantly. Even a minor off-center strike can bring in $25 to $75, while dramatic ones or major die breaks can be worth a few $100s. To find out if your coin has one of these rare features, use a magnifier and carefully inspect the date, mint mark, and lettering. If your coin looks sharp, has a bright red color, or shows a noticeable error, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. A graded coin not only verifies authenticity, but can also dramatically increase its resale value. The 1935 D Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't just an old coin. It's a piece of American history. Minted during one of the nation's toughest economic times, it represents resilience and craftsmanship. While most examples are common and affordable, finding a flawless mint state coin or a rare error variety can turn this humble copper cent into a small fortune. So if you happen to come across a 1935 D penny in your coin jar, take a closer look. You might be holding a valuable piece of U.S. history that collectors are still searching for nearly 90 years later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1935 D wheat penny value. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and share it with other collectors. You never know, someone you know might have a hidden treasure in their pocket change. The 1956 D Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you found an old penny from 1956 with a little D mint mark under the date, you might be holding more than just a piece of pocket change. This classic copper coin could be worth much more than 1 cent, especially if it's in mint condition or features a rare error. So, stay tuned as we break down the history, design, errors, and current market value of the 1956 D Wheat Penny, a true favorite among collectors. The 1956 D Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted at the Denver Mint, with over 1.09 billion coins produced that year. Yes, over 1 billion. That makes it one of the highest mintage wheat cents ever made. But even with such a huge number, there are still rare, high-quality examples and valuable errors that can make your coin stand out from the crowd. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln Wheat Penny series ran from 1909 to 1958, honoring the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. On the obverse, you'll see Lincoln's profile facing right, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1956, with a small D mint mark below the date to represent Denver. On the reverse, two stylized wheat stalks curve around the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum across the top. This simple but timeless design is one of the most recognized in American coinage history. Now let's talk about what these coins are made of and what makes them collectible. The 1956 D Wheat Penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. Because copper reacts over time, coins can appear in shades of brown, red-brown, or full red, and that color difference can dramatically affect value. So what is the 1956 D Wheat Penny worth today? In circulated condition, these coins are very common. Most are worth just 2 to 5 cents. However, when you find one in uncirculated or mint state condition, values rise quickly. An MS-63 red-brown 1956 D penny typically sells for $5 to $10, while a fully red MS-65 example can fetch $25 to $50. If your coin grades at MS-67 red, it could be worth $200 to $300 or more. The top-tier coins, graded MS-67 plus red by PCGS or NGC, have even reached auction prices of $2,000 or higher. Those bright, red luster examples are the ones serious collectors chase after because they're incredibly hard to find in flawless condition, even from a high mintage year like 1956. Now let's move into the most exciting part: errors and varieties that can make your 1956 D penny worth serious money. One of the most popular varieties is the repunched mint mark, RPM, where the D was accidentally stamped twice on the die. Under magnification, you'll see a second faint D slightly above, below, or to the side of the main mint mark. These RPM varieties can be worth anywhere from $20 to $100 depending on the strength and clarity of the doubling. Another valuable find is the 1956 D double die obverse, DDO, where slight doubling can appear on Liberty or In God We Trust. Strong examples of this variety can bring $50 to $200, sometimes even more for high-grade coins. Collectors also look for die cracks, cuds, off-center strikes, and lamination errors, which can all increase a coin's value based on rarity and visual appeal. If you think you found a high-grade or error coin, it's worth having it professionally graded by PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. Certified coins are verified for authenticity and condition, which not only protects your investment, but can also multiply its market value. The 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark. This coin is more than just a piece of copper. It marks the end of an era in U.S. coinage history. And while most 1958 pennies are common, a few can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition, color, and mint errors. So, stay tuned as we uncover everything you need to know about the 1958 no mint mark wheat penny, value, design, history, and the rare varieties that make this coin worth serious money. The 1958 wheat penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which means it carries no mint mark under the date. This was the final year the United States Mint produced the wheat reverse design, before switching to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1958. The reverse shows two curved wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto E Pluribus Unum at the top, a design that collectors cherish for its simplicity and symbolism. Over 252 million 1958 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, making it a relatively common coin. However, condition and color make a huge difference in determining its value. Like most pre-1982 Lincoln cents, the 1958 wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams and measuring 19 millimeters across. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: the value of the 1958 no mint mark wheat penny. In good to fine condition, this coin is typically worth 2 to 5 cents. In extremely fine condition, prices rise to about 10 to 20 cents. Once you get into uncirculated mint state, MS, grades, the value increases significantly. An MS-63 red-brown 1958 penny usually sells for around $5 to $10. A bright MS-65 red example can fetch between $25 and $40. In the top-end grades, like MS-67 red, the value jumps dramatically, often reaching $400 to $700, and in some cases even higher for flawless, certified coins. A few PCGS-graded MS-67 Plus red examples have sold for over $2,000 at major auctions, showing how valuable top-quality examples can be. But the real treasures among 1958 wheat pennies come from rare mint errors and die varieties. One of the most famous is the 1958 double die obverse, DDO, a legendary variety that is extremely rare. On this coin, you can see strong doubling on the inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1958 itself. Only a handful of genuine examples are known to exist, and each one is worth an incredible amount of money. In fact, a certified 1958 double die penny has sold for over $200,000 at auction, making it one of the most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered. Other minor errors to look for include off-center strikes, die cracks, cuds, and lamination flaws, which can all add collector interest and boost value. Even small striking errors can make your coin worth $20 to $100 or more, depending on rarity and eye appeal. If you think you found a high-grade or error coin, it's a good idea to have it authenticated and graded by a professional grading service, such as PCGS, NGC, or Anax. Certified coins typically sell for much more because their grade and authenticity are guaranteed. The 1958 no mint mark wheat penny represents the final chapter in nearly 50 years of the beloved wheat cent design. It's a coin that symbolizes American craftsmanship and history. And even though most examples are common, high-grade or error coins remain highly sought after by collectors worldwide. So, if you happen to find a 1958 penny without a mint mark in your coin jar or change, don't overlook it. It could be a brilliant red gem worth hundreds, or even one of those ultra-rare double die varieties worth tens of thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1958 no mint mark wheat penny value, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin content, and share it with fellow collectors. You never know, someone you know might be holding a fortune in their pocket change.